welcome to the channel. Eric Neura Panda here. Kevin Korkenstein 1. Professor Tony, L_Tony 16. Welcome. And then we got our guest back this episode. We got Joey XX. Bring it. Crazy 13 XX. And we are Super Button Bashers. If you guys enjoy everything that we do, feel free to subscribe.
Was that a D-Generation X?
No,
I mean, or was that the Exhibit X when I come to your town?
You gotta start with the small X and then you gotta be like X for the second one. It's big X, little X.
It should be like
Crazy 13.
What is it when you do like Wolverine special, like in Street Fighter xmen? Yeah, where he goes like you hear X all fucking. Yeah, but welcome to the channel, guys. So this is actually our 15th episode. Woo. So we're celebrating our quinceañera today, and we don't have no mariachi bands going on or no dancing, unfortunately.
Who's the chambelán?
I know, no chambelans. What's going on here?
Wore a white suit.
Looking all fresh. But so we're gonna go ahead and dive right into it. So recently, well, actually super recently, we heard about the whole Spider-Man incident, and I want to make this one a little bit special. So I'm using Tony's hat. So we're talking about Spider-Man today. I mean, since it's not Disney, you should just take the ears off. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, so I mean, you want to kind of kick this off, Kevin? Because I mean, you pretty much know more about the numbers and stuff than I do.
Did it homework?
Yeah.
You did your homework. That's one thing I never did in school was homework.
So essentially, after Far From Home,
make me hot.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Essentially, from Far From Home, that was it for the Sony Disney contract. So now they're trying to renegotiate and figure out what's next in line. And Disney wants a bigger cut of the profits that Sony's making from these movies.
Give me money.
They asked for a 50-50 split. Right now, Disney is making a 5% off of, I believe, opening gross, I think is what it is. First day sales is what they're doing, 5%, which, you know, I mean, that can be a lot. Tony brought up earlier off camera that, you know, that's one of the biggest days that there is, opening day. So it makes sense why Disney wants that.
Nobody wants to be the loser that didn't see Spider-Man on day one.
Yeah, the spoilers and everything.
Slow down, Professor.
I'm still working on it. This is new.
You got the little glasses push going on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you those strings that hold it if it falls. Oh.
I think I do need those. This is all new to me.
But they're gonna be like chains, like when you put on a pit bull. Go on, sorry, I'm hot.
I was gonna say it's like the old Steve Martin movie where he got rich with those glass holders.
Oh,
things.
it's The Jerk.
The Jerk.
I love that movie.
Prevent slippage. Try it. Use the handle. Well, I'll be. It works.
That's me. Out of all the movies, that's the one you've seen.
Oh, what, Steve Martin?
Yeah, The Jerk.
I mean, that's a classic, dude. I mean, we could
You
talk
saw
about
Three
that.
Amigos, right?
Oh, that's them.
Oh yeah, I saw when I was
yeah.
young though. I didn't watch that, but we're going off
right.
track. We're talking about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Sorry.
That looks better on you.
It does.
Yeah.
But put it more like in the front. Show the eyes off. Show the eyes. There you go. You want a lollipop?
Maybe.
Okay, go on.
That's gonna be for off camera.
Camera lollipop.
So yeah,
That was
so
weak.
I mean, it makes sense, and there's a big commotion going on right now with Sony and Disney. It's like Team Sony, Team Disney. People are threatening. There's a hashtag boycott Sony coming out with it.
Hey,
PlayStation 5
Sony.
sales.
You.
Yeah. Yeah, there's people that are saying it's Disney's fault for being too greedy. 50-50 is way too much for what they're supposed to be getting. From my perspective, though, I don't think it should be 50-50, but Disney has every right to ask for a lot more money than 5% off of opening sales.
I mean, I think it should be more because Disney's the one they're writing the script.
But they revamped the image of it though, because like it was always there and it was big, but then it wasn't as big as when Tom Holland became the Spider-Man.
And why did he become Spider-Man? Because of Disney.
Yeah, and Disney.
Yeah.
But it's like they're the ones that blew that shit out of the water.
They really, really made Spider-Man what it is today. Now, Spider-Man's always been a cultural phenomenon and has always been really high up there in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until recently, especially Sony's iterations, that if you look at the numbers, Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 are 2 out of the 3 lowest ranking Spider-Man movies for gross.
And they look like
I like those.
They look nice. Though.
They were decent.
Yeah, they were decent,
I mean, I
but
ain't gonna lie. That Andrew Garfield, he had my heart.
oh yeah.
Yeah, he was good, man.
He was
I mean,
good.
it would have been
He was
nice to
like-
see like a collab of all of them.
Emma Watson. I mean, is that Emma Stone.
No, Emma Stone.
Emma
I was
Stone,
like,
yeah.
I was like, Emma Watson, what? Wingardium Leviosa, you want?
Yeah, hey, you know what? These Emmas got my heart. But yeah,
But when you look at the numbers, they didn't do as good as either the Tobey Maguire ones or the Tom Holland. I mean, Tom Holland's the new Marvel iterations, those combined, just those two alone, out of the 7 that's been done, it's number almost 1 and 2, or it's the top 2 out of the 3 of the biggest movies done. Spider-Man 3 being number 2.
Yeah, weren't you looking at it earlier, Joey? Like
Yeah.
the numbers for the first ones that came out.
Yeah,
What was it?
he's right. Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. They're the highest grossed, just in that order. And then after that, it was the Far From Home came in the 4th. But that was what were you saying? It was?
Inflation. With inflation.
Yeah.
That's what we're calling it.
But yeah, so I mean, you got to think they went back and redid this whole character. They built this brand of Spider-Man for a character they didn't even own. So while I think 50% is a little bit too much, I think maybe 30-70. That's something that's a little bit more.
Yeah, when you were talking about that earlier, I was like, okay, I could see that. Like, of course you want more of it. So, I mean, because I thought 50-50 would be fine. But then, like, once you guys explained it to me earlier when we were talking about it, I was like, okay, 30%, that does seem reasonable. You know, you want to take 30% of that profit and then all the merchandise. And let's just be real, when it comes to merchandise, they could literally change his costume one time. Bam, those sales are going up again. All this change, you know, maybe the way his eyes look. Bring out the toys and merchandise, bam, you're going to sell it all over again.
So you're thinking 30% Disney,
70% Sony.
That's what I'm thinking too.
why? If they're doing all the work.
Yeah, but Sony still owns it, though.
Sony owns it. So
It's like, yeah, but still, it's like you put it in. It's like if you're putting in 50% or 60% of the work, and she's mad because you're done already. I'm sorry. This was a 70-30 here. I'm gonna reap all the profits. Just kidding, ladies.
I don't know why I just...
I love you guys.
I don't know why I just thought of, like, the wedding
I had too
singer.
many beers for dinner.
I don't know why I thought of the wedding singer with John Lovitz.
Oh, God.
You know, when he's behind the curtain, what is he says? He says, like, he's losing his mind, and I'm reaping the benefits. So it's like, you know, Disney made Avengers, Sony, and I'm reaping the benefits.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. So, I mean,
No.
I can see where that's... I mean, like I said, the 30%, I mean, I guess business aspect, I mean, we're not business majors and nothing like that. I mean, I feel like that would be more reasonable. Like, if you really want to, like, take a bigger cut of it, I mean, going 50-50 is understandable too, but that could possibly be kind of...
It's a big difference.
Yeah,
5%.
5 to 50, yeah.
And I mean, well, here's the kicker. There's rumors going around right now that Disney's the one that was leaking the info to Deadspin, because Deadspin's the one that came out with all this. They're the ones that broke the news first. And they're saying Disney's the one that broke this and kind of spun it towards Sony's fault so they could tip Sony's hands. And that's why people... I mean, now there's a Facebook group, just like the Area 51, where people are like, let's storm Sony and get our boy back. That's an actual group.
What are they gonna do? Kidnap Tom Holland? Like somehow Sony has him?
It's like the 21st, we're going to Area 51. 22nd, we're going to Sony.
I'm sorry.
You're over here in Culver City.
Yeah.
Sorry if you walk into Kratos right there at the front door.
Yeah. He's going to just be waiting for you.
Yeah, right? Boy.
Boy.
Kratos and Tim Drake. Boy! Maybe that's what it is. They're like, you know what? Tom Holland's gonna play Tim Drake in Uncharted. He can't be Spider-Man anymore.
Yeah.
Isn't there like people are trying to get him to do that or something like that?
Supposedly,
I could swear I saw like
I
petitions
think
or
he's too
something.
young.
Well, I think he's supposed to play the young version of him.
Yeah.
Isn't
Like
he?
like a prequel?
Oh, okay.
Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. Is he's supposed to play the young version of him? But I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's all. I mean, I haven't really looked into much of the movie. But back to the Spider-Man. So yeah, that's what they're saying is that Sony's kind of tipping the scales and forcing Sony's hand, or Disney, yes, forcing Sony's hand to really come out and take the deal that they want. But that's all rumor mill right now.
And you
Nobody
know
really
what?
knows.
If you ain't fighting dirty, you don't want it. Just saying.
What? I was like, how does that work?
Hey, yeah, Disney's pushing.
Well, you got to think of it this way: Spider-Man now, would it be just as good back then? Because I mean, Spider-Man, he's also in the Avengers as well, and they're getting like little scenes in all these other movies. Back then, Spider-Man wasn't getting these types of publicity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like he's gonna be bigger than if he was back then.
But I don't know if you guys remember the hype that was around when, was it Captain America Civil War came out? Like the moment they showed a preview of Spider-Man grabbing the shield or something like that, it was just like, holy shit, Spider-Man's in fucking Avengers.
Everybody lost it.
Yeah, it was like all over online. It was insane.
And that's what I'm saying.
And it was huge. I remember I was excited. I was like, oh, this is so badass. Spider-Man's incorporated into this. I'm just waiting for X-Men to make a fucking, their premiere, because once X-Men starts to get into all this, like, Marvel phases, oh man, dude. Growing up with that shit.
Well, I think that's probably might be, what are they on, phase 4 right now?
5, I think. Is
it 5?
I don't know. You
either
guys
the next phase coming up, I think, is probably going to be all X-Men, because that's such a rich backstory. There's so much to pull from. They can make it like the 10 years that we've had now with Avengers, just solely X-Men, and there's so much that they could do with it.
Yeah, because the X-Men, they had to redo it again because it was terribly done.
Yeah,
like the first
class.
I mean, the first one, like the first X-Men when it came out, I saw it in theaters. I thought it was really fucking good. They had a nice, solid storyline. It wasn't like the cartoons where Jubilee was the first one to come into it and Wolverine was with her. They used Rogue instead, which I didn't care too much. But then they went on and it just didn't go anywhere. So then I like how when they brought First Class out and then Days of Future Past and then so on and so forth, how they kind of made it seem like, oh, that universe doesn't really exist anymore.
They retconned it, I guess.
Yeah, and they got rid of it, and then they moved on.
It did. It was just more like a time travel type of thing.
Yeah, because they went back into time and changed it, and now this is like their new present future or present time.
I just didn't like how Magneto was so old. I like my Magneto
Yeah, he was in his late 20s, wasn't he?
No,
when
on the first X-Men movie, Magneto.
Oh yeah. Well, no,
he was
supposed to be all gray haired and stuff. Though.
Gray hair is
maybe
one
they
thing.
made him way too old. Yeah,
I can see what you're saying. Yeah,
gray hair is one thing.
I got gray hair too.
I'm just saying, you can be gray.
This is called
sexy.
stress. No. That's not even age, it's stress.
This is stress for the mutant
Yeah.
race. No, I just didn't like because it's like when all my thought process and my image of Magneto, he's like, I don't think it's gray hair. I think he just has white hair.
Looked like he should have been in his 40s,
Yeah,
early 50s.
40s, hitting it up, like the Jack LaLanne juicer, swimming the Atlantic, being all swole,
Because I remember watching
Not
the cartoons of that.
yeah.
I remember for some reason the episodes that always come to my head is the Phoenix Saga, and then when they go back in time with the dinosaurs and stuff.
The Savage Land.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. For some reason, those are the two things that always pop in my head when it comes to the cartoon.
Yeah, the Savage Land is
and the
one.
Apocalypse.
I always think of Magneto when he rips the freaking the wall off the cell and he's trying to get Beast to join him. He's like, "Come on!" He's like, "What are you waiting for?" And Beast is like, "Bro, I got a court date."
You see the suit?
He's like, "I got a court date." He's like, "What are you waiting for?" He's like, my day in court, bro."
I'm on recess.
He's like,
Yeah, right.
You gonna mess up my parole?
Yeah.
Take away my benefits?
You trying to add 2 years to
Yeah.
my sentence? Come on,
I mean,
man.
do you guys remember the first time? I'm going back to Spider-Man. Do you guys remember watching the first one, when it came out?
Spider-Man or X-Men?
Spider-Man.
Which?
We're
I
going
mean,
back to
which?
Spider-Man.
Tobey
Which-
Maguire.
Tobey Maguire.
The Tobey.
Oh,
Okay,
first one.
I thought you were doing callback to that old '70s TV
No.
show.
Oh, we want to talk the
Spider-Man.
TV show. That's all day.
Yeah.
I hate that TV show.
You didn't like it?
I hated that TV show.
Get off the
so
show,
much.
Tony. Get off the show.
It was so.
You just called the Savage Land back in time. All right, that's a land of savagery.
Dude, I don't remember it.
Well, then
There's dinosaurs.
then don't judge me.
There's dinosaurs.
Don't judge
Tony.
me about a '70s Spider-Man cartoon show that means nothing, and X-Men means everything. Everything.
So, anyways, what we're saying for Spider-Man, do you guys remember when it was? Did you guys watch it in theaters? I know I did.
I saw it in
I had a
theaters.
bootleg copy at the time. That was 4 discs long for one movie. That's when discs couldn't really hold that much file size.
Yeah, I saw it. That was really, really. I mean, it was cool. To see something you grew up reading now on the big screen, kind of deal. And it was awesome. I mean, I think Tobey Maguire played a really, really good Spider-Man. a really good Peter Parker. You know, it was kind of that. I mean, yeah, you know, like
now that I understand what you're saying, like now that you have all these other different Spider-Mans that are coming into play, like you can see which one was better than the other. But like during that time, I thought Tobey Maguire did a good job as Spider-Man.
he was one of my favorites. He still is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I know. It was pretty good. Tony,
I don't like Tobey Maguire.
You don't like Tobey Maguire?
you don't like
I
him?
don't like him.
No.
Why not? It's because it's dancing part 3.
No,
Yeah.
that was gross.
It was hard to watch. You're just watching it.
It was
just like
really hard to watch.
Why?
And I think it's because he had that My Chemical Romance look. You know, had the hair to the side, had the Sharpie eyebrows. I mean, eyeliner on.
But yes.
But you get a few, beers in you. That's how kind of you look when you dance. I'm just saying.
Ooh, Tony.
And you love it.
I do.
Tony Maguire.
I do.
Tony Maguire.
I would think more like Jerry Maguire, like show me the Tony.
Oh,
Show me the Tony. Man.
Anyways, so, I mean, like I said, like when the movie first came out, like I think it was really good because it was officially the first live action Spider-Man. You know, growing up with it, just having that theme and everything that was going on with the cartoon in the '90s, which was fucking. I thought it was badass growing up. Like that was our childhood, and then seeing the movie come out, like the live action, it's like okay, like what are they gonna do with it? And then for them bringing like the Green Goblin, how everything got incorporated. Like, it was, I think that's why it was probably the biggest, because it was officially the first.
You know they have, like, the legitimate, like, Green Goblin suit they were originally going to use for that movie? Like, it was actually the leather one where it was
Really?
like, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not a fucking, like, I'm a Power Ranger.
But I didn't mind it. It didn't look bad.
I when I first saw it, I was like, man, where's my leather green suit?
What about the Amazing Spider-Man with Jamie Foxx?
What about it?
What do you guys think of that? Like, having such... Willem Dafoe was a huge name, too. Like, I'm thinking of, like, big names that play, like, villains and stuff like that.
Well, we all know how he feels about Jamie Foxx. He loves him, but...
I do. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I respect the game.
But,
I don't know, like, if it got awkward.
Yeah,
I think we were just like...
Where were we
Like,
going with
in my
that,
head, I'm
Tony?
thinking, like...
that you don't like Jamie Foxx! You lied!
I
You
know.
lied! We all know!
I
It's
was
so
about to say,
bad.
like, where are we going with this?
Okay. Just that he doesn't like Jamie Foxx.
When I look at Jamie Foxx,
He
I
thinks
think
he's
of...
overrated. He's like, Jamie Foxx is not a good singer. Jamie Foxx is not Ray Charles. Jamie Foxx. I hate him.
What about Jamie Foxx in Living Color, though?
He was
Oh, he's great.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's great.
He's so crazy.
Oh, what was...
no.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No. That's you so crazy. That's Martin. When he's gonna be like, "I'm gonna rock your world."
Oh, yeah, there you
That's
go.
what I was like. You so crazy's Martin.
But,
I don't know. I didn't really... I mean, I like the Andrew Garfield ones.
I like the theme of it. Like, it was more dark.
Yeah,
Because like the
it was-
original ones, it seemed very like, I don't know. Like,
Now, was it him per se that you didn't like, or was it just the story of how they presented it that you didn't like?
I think just this... I mean, it was kind of hard because he was a good Peter Parker.
Mhm.
I think, it was kind of weird Spider-Man. And just the stories, just for me, it didn't have the impact that it, now that we're seeing. Then again, at the time, it was pretty good because that's all we had. But now seeing Tom Holland, it kind of sets the bar a little bit higher. We got to kind of rank it. And I'd rank him as probably one of, not the worst Spider-Man, but he's definitely on the bottom.
Yeah.
it's like when you go through the Batmans.
I don't
Yeah.
think so, because when I look at Andrew Garfield, and is that Garfield?
Yeah.
It's Garfield,
I
right?
think so, yeah.
Lasagna Cat. Well, when I think of
Hates Mondays.
Andrew Lasagna Cat, who hates Mondays,
Spider Cat.
when I see him, like, I see Spider-Man because the Spider-Man that I'm used to seeing is like the skinny, dangly one, and to me, he moved more like Spider-Man
I can see that.
than the other two.
And he can actually like do poses and stuff like him.
He
I
was-
think
he was more, yeah,
when they introduced him more at the Disney California, like he actually went in and was doing the poses, and that's when he took his mask off, and everyone was like, "Oh shit! Like it's Tom Holland."
No, I wasn't talking about Tom Holland. Tom Holland used to do the backflip.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think you're
Yeah.
talking about Tom Holland.
Tom Holland's like short and stocky,
Uh-huh.
he's buff. I
What
get
are you
it.
talking about?
I'm talking about Andrew.
Oh, you're talking about Mondays.
Yeah, Mondays. Andrew Mondays. Because like the Spider-Man that I'm used to seeing is like skinny and dangly.
Yeah, okay, I
and
can
he's
see that.
strong. And then the way they portrayed Spider-Man in The Amazing Spider-Man is that, and this is the key thing that you got to understand about Spider-Man. Spider-Man beats his villains not because he has powers. He beats his villains because he learns and uses his knowledge. So in Amazing Spider-Man, he did that. That's why when he was fighting Electro, and he was like, "Oh man, he keeps fucking up my web slingers," and then freaking, you know, Gwen Stacy's like, "Dude, magnetize him," and he's like, "Oh shit." So they magnetize him. They magnetize him, and then that's what. And I was like, "Now that's my Spider-Man." Not this like.
Now,
I'm just saying, in a fight, Andrew Garfield will win.
Okay.
Because he's smarter than the other Spider-Mans.
Well, I don't know. The new Tom Holland Spider-Man. I mean,
those
essentially,
suits that he got.
Yeah, essentially, he's taken over the mantle of Tony Stark, which is
true.
Which I do like that.
But he's taking technology that already existed. I think.
True.
Andrew Garfield's Spider. Now it's a fight.
He would come up.
Now it's a fight. Who would win between
you guys
Spider-Man?
let us know which 3 Spider-Mans. Who is going to win on?
Because
that's a good question.
Because
I
think that
it's like the thing where all 3 Spider-Mans that meme.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
You're Spider-Man.
Well, they had that at the end of spoiler alert. At the end of Into the Spider-Verse, they did that meme.
Well, he said spoiler alert.
Which I saw.
I know, but I
that's
was
right,
barely
you haven't
watching
watched
this
it.
shit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Just to let you guys know, I was actually watching it because since we're going to talk about Spider-Man, I wanted to watch it, and I was at work, so I had to do my work. So.
This isn't anything detrimental to the story.
Okay, good.
It's an after credit scene.
Okay, good, because I was like, because I want to watch it.
And trust me, there's more to that scene than what I've described.
Like, now that we've been talking about it, I'm going to watch it.
But they pay an homage to that meme.
Okay.
Look in the background. You see the Spider-Man suit.
Now, what if they did a live version of the multiverse and they brought everybody back? Tom Holland, you know.
Well, there's always been talks about that.
Yeah, they've always talked about like incorporating them all together, but I don't think they would do it. To be honest with you, I mean, it would be nice. I think it'll be fun.
Because there's supposed to be a comic book that's coming out, the multiverse of Spider-Man, and it's going to include the Spider-Man from the video game. He's actually going to be the leader from the Amazing Spider-Man video game.
I never played it. I think did I borrow it from you yet? I forgot.
No,
but
I
do want to play that one though, because that one, like, just graphically and everything looks really.
It's
cool.
a really good. Actually, I do really like that narrative, which also again that was also helped created by Marvel and Insomniac. Sony was just releasing it.
Sony.
I mean,
come on.
To make a full circle after all of that,
Mm-hmm.
I think Disney realizes they do have Sony by the balls. They really do, because I don't think Sony could ever make $1 billion movie that they did.
Like a businesswoman with a fresh manicure.
You got put nails in there.
Lady Deathstroke.
Deathstroke. Keep going.
Alright.
There we go. He lost.
Sea cucumber. Let's bring that back.
He lost his web.
Yeah, so, I mean, to go back to it, I don't think Sony could have ever done what Disney's done with their Spider-Man franchise.
Yeah.
I think Disney's helped...
I think they rebuild his image, for sure.
They really did, because, like I said, when you look at the numbers, the last 2 are some of the worst selling, in the Spider-Man's universe. So, it's kind of hard to say. So, with it, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't think Sony will ever be able to do something that Marvel could have done.
The Spider-Man now catches, the kids' eyes, because, like, if you notice, there's a gradual, like age change from, Tobey Maguire to, Garfield to, Holland. They're
He's
catching
younger.
Yeah.
Even with on the movie with Moses, what is his name from the Into the Spider-Verse? I think his last name's like Moses.
Oh, Miles Morales.
Miles Morales. Sorry, I'm way off. So with Miles, he even got younger on there too, and the actual way that they showed it pulls a younger crowd for sure. Because one for us was the cartoon that pulled us as kids, and it made us want to be more like adapted to his universe. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's pretty cool. One thing that bothered me though is like when it comes to the original ones of Spider-Man and like the newer ones was I think in the this always grosses me out. The original one, didn't it just come out of his wrist?
Yeah.
Like he just shot it, but
I
might
DNA.
be wrong, but wasn't it he made the cartridges? Like when in Spider-Man, like
I don't know how the comic book is.
I always thought that he made the cartridges, and that's how he was able to shoot the webs. Like
I think there's different iterations of different Spider-Man. Some are cartridges. Some are that they change his DNA to where it automatically shoots.
Oh, okay.
Kind of thing. It varies from Spider-Man to Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah, because
it's cartridges. Yeah. And then it's been cartridges for the long time, and then they released a comic book series of Spider-Man where he turns into the man spider.
Yeah.
Then he turns into a cocoon, and then when he comes out of the cocoon, he's back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
But then he starts shooting the web out of his body.
I don't know
and then
why.
he has other powers too.
I just thought of I don't know if you guys watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Where there's the Halloween episode and Danny DeVito, they're like, "Oh no, you were Spider-Man for Halloween." He goes, "No, I was Man Spider," and he goes, "Fizz, fizz." But he was like an action. Oh, that's when he's Spider-Man, but like Man Spider, he's like a full-on like just in like a Black Widow outfit, like a spider. So I don't know. I just thought about that, but I mean, so like I said, like for that was one thing that used to bother me, was that because like I think in the cartoons they showed the cartridges. So that's I was always like, it's kind of weird. And then even when the toys came out, have a Spider-Man, the web slinging cartridge, just like Spider-Man. And they used to have what was like the silly string or something like that. Just put on your wrist and just go like that, and you just hey girl, come here, girl.
Disappointment.
I always thought they just helped.
I would shoot it and I'd be like,
Like
this is a silly screen.
Make it come out.
Yeah,
easier.
multiple ones.
Yeah.
But you had to do your friend's hands. You had to get that flick of the wrist. Bring that back.
The song? Just look at the flick of the wrist. Look at the flick of
You should bring that back with Spider-Man.
Right.
Look at the flick of the wrist. I mean, I don't even know. So now that let's say this happened. So what are the talks that they're going to incorporate him into the Venom series?
Oh, that would be Sony's
there
next
was
best move.
already the talks
Talks
of
of
that.
right?
Yeah.
But are they going to
Because-
keep the same Venom? Because I know they did in 1 and 2.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah,
Venom?
they're gonna keep him.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely probably keep him for sure.
I mean, he was loved
Who?
to be Venom. Tom Hardy.
I think he did a good job.
Compared,
Because
compared to what's his name?
Venom 2...
Eric Foreman.
I don't think that was his name.
I don't remember his name.
Where the fuck is
what?
Fez? I don't know what
Because his Venom was terrible. That was on 3.
Yeah, that was 3.
Yeah, that was 3.
Played
yeah.
Eddie Brock, I think was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie Brock, wasn't he like a football player or something like that?
In high school.
Yeah.
And
And then
then
he got into photography.
he was the other photographer for
But then,
J. Jonah Jameson.
on the Venom movie, like, they made him just like a complete badass, like, Instagram, social media star, that wears weird, like, bracelets. Like those bracelets you see on, like, the Instagram ads.
Sponsor ad.
Sponsor
Want to
ad.
buy it?
I thought I blocked this damn
Pay
shit.
$5 for shipping. We'll send it to you in 2 months.
But, yeah, no, they're gonna have the Venom 2 movie, and then they talked about, like, having them cross over, like, for a multiverse type.
So that was also another thing of the Disney Sony deal. Supposedly, that's all rumor right now. Is they wanted Venom to make an appearance for the next Spider-Man movie.
So
That's what they wanted through the Disney.
I was
Marvel
gonna
deal.
say the age difference between Venom and Spider-Man. Like, I don't know. I think in the comic books, I mean, he was out of high school, he was in college and working and stuff like that. So like,
But that could easily be explained by the snap.
okay,
Eddie, he never got snapped. So that's why he grew. Spider-Man's still the same age.
I mean, I figured it's just gonna be an alternate universe.
yeah, if
Because that's the
anything-
thing, because in the Venom movie, like, Spider-Man doesn't exist. And the snap doesn't even exist. So unless the Venom movie takes place, like, in 1992...
well, but
Yeah.
it did happen before the movie came out, though.
Well, yeah,
Didn't it?
but in the Venom whole era, like, they never once mentioned any sort of superhero.
Yeah.
but I can see that. I can see the snap coming into play.
I mean,
And
it's
playing
something
off
that they
that.
could easily weave into the story.
Yeah,
I've only watched bits and pieces of the Venom. I haven't been able to sit down and watch it all the way through. Is it still based in New York, the Venom movie?
It's in San Francisco.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's
Oh,
in
so then...
San
Yeah,
Francisco.
so he's-
Oh, so he wouldn't even know of
Yeah.
Spider-Man
So
until he goes to
I feel like
to New York.
Yeah, if they plan on doing it, I think they're gonna do, like, a whole another universe. Like, the Venom and the symbiotes are part of a whole nother universe, and that's how they make it too.
So I don't know if this like kind of plays on it. So as far as Sony's like rights of it, is it anything in the Spider-Man universe?
They own the
Anything.
Spider-Man universe.
Okay.
For movie rights.
Okay, because I was
Comic book and the actual character, Marvel still owns.
because what if like Disney wanted to do something like a show for Disney Plus, but incorporate like a different alternate universe one?
I don't think
Spider-Man.
they... Yeah.
It's
The-
just nothing. Period.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely.
Yeah, it's anything that's film related, I think is all Sony. Any-
Spider-Man property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They only have, I think, the comic book side of it.
Sony. Well, I mean,
But,
to be honest with you, I didn't think this was gonna be all Spider-Man. I actually kind of like this. The old Spider-Man talk.
Getting deep with it.
Yeah.
I mean, we even got some X-Men in there.
Jesus. I mean, I want to say I'm kind of excited to see where they're gonna go with it, but at the same time, I'm disappointed because I did like the direction Disney was taking with Spider-Man. You know, like how they incorporated him into the Avengers. And that's what makes me think too. I was laughing. I think there was a meme about it or something like that where it shows, you know, when Iron Man tells him, you know, hey, kid, you're an Avenger now. So pretty much, and I was like, so it was a fucking lie. You're pretty much telling me, like, because he's not an Avenger anymore. They took him away from there. So I'm just, that's kind of sad. He's not an Avenger no more.
I mean, they might write him off like Spider-Man gets killed.
Spider-Man gets stabbed.
Well, I mean, they've already...
He gets squashed.
I mean, Spider-Man...
I mean, they've already done enough changes with the whole... I mean, because in Civil War, he's supposed to come out and he announces himself as Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, instead, spoiler alert coming up, if you haven't seen Far From Home yet, they end up doing it a different way at the end credit scene with Spider-Man, you know, the Far From Home, Tom Holland's one. But, I mean, it depends. I mean, they could do so much with it, and they could kind of weave in and out of the comics that, I mean, anything could happen.
Any final thoughts, gentlemen, before we end this? Joey? Anything Spider-Man related?
No. I like where they're going.
Tony?
where are they going?
Yeah, where
They're not going anywhere. It's done.
You guys were talking about how Disney, you like the way Disney's going with Spider-Man.
Even though that they're cut off.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, the only hope is that, like, I think it's a play on both ends because they put Spider-Man basically in an area where everyone's waiting for the third Spider-Man movie. You know, with potential talks of what the villain might be and where it's at.
And especially how they ended it.
Yeah, especially
they
how
left their characters so open-ended
Yeah.
with what's going to happen. The
because then you have the Sinister Six that can come out. You have freaking like all those guys like Scorpion, the Return of Vulture. Because remember, at the end of Far From Home, the guy who is Scorpion, who turns into Scorpion.
Homecoming.
Homecoming, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Spider-Man Home Somewhere.
Yeah, they were saying online that it's going to be
Found
Far
a Home.
From
Spider-Man Home Alone.
Homecoming and Homeless.
Yeah. The guy who ends up becoming the Scorpion goes up to the Vulture and is like, "Hey, I heard you know who Spider-Man is, S.A.?" And he's like, "Nah."
S.A.?
Nah. Well, yeah, because
Because it's the quinceañera. You can say
I was about to
S.A.?
say, we're bringing it back to
Yeah.
the quinceañera.
So he was
This
like,
is going full circle this episode.
So they already introduced
One
the
full way.
Shocker, the Scorpion, you have
Shocker.
the Vulture. All they have to do.
Oh my goodness.
All they have to do is introduce the other potential Sinister Six.
They haven't even done the biggest one, and that's Doc Ock or
Did
the
they
Green
bring
Goblin.
Kingpin?
They haven't done Kingpin yet, but they've saved that for Daredevil. So I don't know.
Well, I don't think Daredevil exists anymore. I don't think any of that stuff exists in the universe. I think they.
No, the TV was different.
Yeah, they uncanon.
But Daredevil's also a property of Marvel.
Well, no, that is like
That's
all
the
those shows
Yeah.
are property of Marvel, but I think they just kind of wiped them.
Well, as far as the Spider-Man universe
Yeah.
goes, yeah. Other than what they showed
Oh, snap.
Well, no,
in Far From Home.
Well, 'cause
I mean, not Far From Home, but
because Spider-Man is
Spider-Verse.
If you look in the first, if you look in the first season of Daredevil, there's an episode where they have a bunch of newspaper clippings, and there's actually one in the background of Spider-Man, and it says, "Oh, the mysterious spider person."
yeah.
So Spider-Man does exist in Daredevil's universe at that time, but I think Disney said, "Nah, none of that stuff exists anymore in their universe."
Stop playing
Oh, yeah.
games.
So,
Yeah, the Netflix is
So, yeah.
completely separate from the
so none,
MCU.
none of that exists anymore. It did
It did for a while, yeah.
until they were like, "Nah, we're gonna Star Wars this shit."
Well, they didn't know how to. They didn't know how to incorporate it all together. I don't think they didn't know how to make it seamless to where
I don't think
it
you
would
can.
make sense.
Yeah.
It would be hard to have so many moving parts to all work together.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Does whatever a spider can, apparently. And
Except when Sony's involved.
Yeah, except for when Sony's involved, and everything just goes terrible. But I mean,
Horrible.
we'll just end it with that, guys. Once again, hopefully you enjoy what you watch and heard.
The camera probably went so out of focus on that.
You So in your inner Jew
That's how I
carry,
feel.
fucking.
So I feel about it.
We good?
No,
Okay.
never.
So
Never.
if you guys like what you guys watch or hear, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Let us know, what Spider-Man's your favorite movie. If you prefer the cartoons.
I was just thinking, like, what if out of all that, after everything we shot, the amazing combo we just had, he hits the phone, and it's just like that's
What?
it.
You
It
can
just.
always edit it. Don't be so sassy. God damn.
I was just thinking of what would have happened, like how hilarious that would have been.
But yeah, let us know if there's, Spider-Man that you guys appreciate
That'd be
more.
fucking awesome.
If there's one of the actors you guys like more than the other, you've already heard our opinions on it.
Who would win in a fight?
Yeah, who would win in a fight out of those three
Yeah.
Spider-Mans?
And make compelling arguments.
Yeah,
Just
don't be like, because I'm a fangirl.
Yeah, just don't put a name.
'Cause I
Put a
like-
reason why.
You heard that from the professor himself.
Yeah.
Don't
Like,
be a
what other
fangirl.
movie? What has Tobey Maguire did after
I don't-
the Spider-Man movie?
I think that was it.
Nothing. That was it.
Well, I think he got like really bad back injuries and stuff like that, or something. It was medical reasons why he stopped.
I'd have a back
Mhm.
injury after
Bad
Spider-Man
backs,
3.
Yeah.
From their prime.
Carrying
From
it.
their prime.
Yeah,
It's
Karen.
it's from that dance.
Yeah, fucking dance. I'd hurt myself.
Yeah, I think that's what it was medical, and that's why he stopped.
But yeah.
But yeah. Also, don't forget, wish Tony a happy quinceañera.
Yeah, Tony's quinceañera.
I got glasses on.
Woo!
I'm an old man.
Professor
You can see.
Tony.
Professor
Old man.
Tony.
Old man
KD's
Tony.
gonna go up in all the games he plays now.
What is it, Tony? Hulk up.
Hulk up.
But yeah,
Listen
thank
to
you.
your mom.
Duh.
She knows better. But yeah, guys, thank you again for watching. We appreciate it. We'll pretty much catch you on the next one. Joey, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.
And that's pretty much it, guys. So, bye.
Bye.